Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to add polynomials. So the first thing is you need to understand what is a polynomial. So polynomials, when you have many terms, poly means many. So you can have 3 different terms in a polynomial. You can have 4 different terms, 2 different terms, or even 1 term, which is a monomial. Mono means 1. But when you guys are adding polynomials, we are going to have a plus in the middle of the polynomials, and usually the polynomials are inside a parenthesis. So here we're adding negative 4p squared minus p plus 9, plus you're adding a different polynomial, p squared plus 3p minus 1. So these are trinomials. If you want to be more specific, it has 3 different terms, so we're adding a trinomial plus another trinomial. All you have to do when you add polynomials is combine like terms. So you're going to start with the highest exponent, and we do that because we want our answer, the polynomial, the answer in standard form. So you always start with the highest exponents, which is in this case the squared, negative 4p squared, and you're going to combine the like term on the other polynomial that you're adding. So we have a p squared, and remember that p squared has an invisible 1 in front of the p. So when you guys combine, yes, you're adding, but remember that you have to look at the signs of the coefficients. So we have a negative 4 plus a positive 1. That's going to be negative 3p squared. When you guys have different signs, you subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the biggest number. Then, since we start with the highest exponent 2, then we have to go to the next lowest exponent, which is 1. So we need the p term, or the p that has an exponent of 1. And we do have this here, negative p, and I'm going to add a 3p over here. Notice again, negative 1 has an invisible 1 exponent. It's a negative, and we're adding a positive 3. So negative 1 plus 3, that's going to be positive 2p. The last thing is the constants, the one that doesn't have a variable. So I do have the positive 9 here and the minus 1 over here. So you guys are adding or combining like terms. 9 minus 1 is positive 8. So the answer is this polynomial. So let's go ahead and look at what is a polynomial, and to be more specific, let's give a name to the polynomial. So we do have a negative 3p squared plus 2p plus 8. First of all, the degree of this polynomial, degree is the highest exponent. So we do have a squared here, that is the highest exponent. We have a name when we have a degree of 2, which is quadratic. So one name that we can use for this polynomial, it is a quadratic, and I'm going to underline this and put degree of 2 on the bottom. So you guys know it is quadratic because it has a degree of 2. Now, how many terms does the polynomial have? Well, we have one term, the one in red, a second term, the one in blue, and the constant is the third term. So we have 3 different terms, and the name for 3 different terms is trinomial. So we have a trinomial right here, and let me put here underneath 3 terms. Tri means 3. So the name for this polynomial is quadratic trinomial. Keep in mind that when you say polynomial, well, that's too general. Poly means many, right? But now we can be more specific, and we can say the degree of 2 is quadratic, and it has 3 different terms. Trinomial, quadratic trinomial. Something else you also have to know about polynomials. You have to find the leading coefficient. And the leading coefficient is the number that has the variable, or the number with the variable that has the highest exponent. So we know that p has the highest exponent. So this coefficient, this number, is going to be your leading coefficient. So I'm going to put here leading coefficient, and I'm going to put C for coefficient. Leading coefficient is negative 3. When you guys are start to graph polynomials, you will use the leading coefficient to know different things about the graph. But we're not graphing today, we're just adding polynomials. You also need to know what is the constant of the polynomial, and the constant is the positive 8. Make sure that you guys use the sign in front of the number. So the number with no variable is your constant. So let me write that down on the bottom. Constant is positive 8. So these are the things you guys have to know about a polynomial. You have to know what is the name of the polynomial, quadratic trinomial, what's the leading coefficient, is negative 3, and the constant is positive 8. So this is the end of my video. I'm going to make another one that you guys can also watch for subtracting polynomials. If you like my video, you guys can click that like button. You can also subscribe to my channel so you guys know when I upload new videos. So make sure you guys practice, and I'll see you guys later.